everybody. How y'all doing? Once again, this is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are here live for my NXT TakeOver 30 live review that I thought took place at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. But instead, we were back at Full Sail University, and it took me until the match with the women's title match to realize we had some legitimate fans in the crowd. We heard Keith Lee, whoop, whoop, Keith Lee, whoop, whoop. We heard E-O, 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 E-O. We heard some crazy fan-made chants that definitely warmed my soul tonight, because I missed that. I missed legitimate fans. I am so tired of this, micromanaged crowds that, oh, it's a heel, you gotta boo them. It's a babyface, you gotta cheer for them. Again, let the reactions be so natural. Of course, main roster, yeah, even though we have, virtual fans there, it's still being a piped-in crowd that's still being micromanaged. So, yeah. But we're going to talk about everything that happened at TakeOver 30. Hope to have a good live chat tonight as well. I made some new friends, some new subscribers in my live reactions to that main event, which we will get into, and talk about everything that took place on this card. As far as my overall thoughts of TakeOver 30, definitely better quality-wise. Well, it was definitely better than TakeOver in Your House. TakeOver in Your House was a good show, but it definitely was not one of the strongest takeovers I've seen. This was hitting on that level. Close. This show, almost for me, got into the A range. Almost. Not quite, though. There was a couple little tidbits about some of the matches in this show that I'm going to pick at a little bit, but it was still a fun show. I loved it. Top to bottom. Still fun overall. And just as usual, I felt like I did not waste my time at all tonight. NXT TakeOver just once again. 2 thumbs up. Maybe be a happy wrestling fan tonight. Of course, I do gotta mention also that for some reason, Mauro Ranallo was not there tonight. In his place, though, was Corey Graves. Gotta say, this was not the corporate suck-up Corey Graves that we got. This was actually the Corey Graves I remember enjoying on commentary when I first started watching NXT full-time, end of 2015, beginning of 2016. That's the Corey Graves I miss on commentary. And you can tell, once again, the huge difference between how people are treated in NXT and on the main roster. Corey Graves obviously being a corporate suck-up is because of who he has to deal with in his ear all the time. Vince McMahon. So it's nice to see that happen again, and many other things that happen on this show. So without further ado, let's get in and talk about it. So I did watch the pre-show match. The pre-show match was a triple threat number 1 contenders match for the NXT Tag Team Champions. Breezangos, Tyler Breeze, and Fandango versus the Brit Arm Brawlers, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, and the team called Legado del Fantasma, Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde. This was a solid pre-show match. I thought it was good. It wasn't, I didn't expect it to completely light the world on fire, but it was good. It's a physical match, had a mix of hard-hitting, high-flying styles with all 6 of these guys that were involved in the match. Not much to really say about it. To my surprise, though, Breezango won. A goofy-looking finish. It looked like Oney Lorcan went in to break up something with Fandango and El Hijo del Fantasma, Legado, something like that, but then it basically led to this backfire because he got super kicked by Tyler Breeze, or the beauty shot, whatever they used to call it, And that's how they won the match, and they're number one contenders for the NXT tag titles against Imperium. I was surprised because they already had gotten their tag title shot when they first returned a couple months ago. So I didn't think they were going to win this match. I really thought it was going to be the Brit Arm Brawlers, Lorcan and Birch. But it's going to be Breezango. So I'm fine with that. But this time I'd say give the tag titles give them the tag titles. Again, I love Imperium, but they feel like just placeholders right now holding the NXT tag titles. Like, I don't know if it's because, they're just waiting for NXT UK to start back up again, which, breaking news, NXT UK, it was announced tonight before the main event that NXT UK is returning on September 17th. And I may actually, even though, of course, when I first came back to YouTube earlier this year, I said I wasn't going to be reviewing NXT UK consistently. The first show I may review. If not, then again, I'll just review like a bunch at once like I was planning on doing originally. Because again, I still have interest in the talent in NXT UK. So I don't know if there was just like a placeholder to give them something to do to keep them credible while they wait for UK to come back or what. But I just have been kind of disappointed with their run. I expect it. They really haven't done much with them as tag champions. Not really telling much of a story. They just show up with the titles, fight, and leave. So strange. And like I said, this tag team division I think needs to be built up again in NXT. So Breezango being tag team champions could be good because they are digging deeper into this gimmick. They're coming out with different attire and whatnot, different costumes, just being entertaining, actually. Doing much more, of course, than they were able to do on the main roster. Even though, once again, they had fashion files, but then they just screwed that over because, for crying out loud, they actually were getting something over, but probably was not a Vince match, so... who knows? So, yeah, so still a solid pre-show match. I'll give it credit for that. It was a solid pre-show match. And Breezango win, and they're going to challenge at some point, probably in the next few weeks on NXT, Imperium for the NXT tag titles. So, good way to open up the show. We got a couple people in the live chat now. Let me see what's up. We got the Elite Squad saying that main event could have been much better. We will talk about that. Tyler, what's up, man? I'm watching the show, so you think he's catching up. Yeah, some people I know did watch Dynamite first. I didn't get to watch Dynamite. I'll try to watch. I heard the ending was pretty good. I heard that, and I'm like, oh, I got to tune in and see what it is. So, no spoilers. Also, no spoilers for Dynamite. That was awesome. I love that North American Championship ladder match. Oh, we'll talk about that. We will talk about that. Hell, Velveteen Dream I thought died. Or just disappeared off this planet, for crying out loud. We'll talk about that shortly. But thank you guys for joining me, you three in the live chat. 3 of my biggest fans. Again, I made a couple new fans in my live reactions for the main event with Lee and Cross. So, of course, I'm hoping some of them will jump in as well, as this channel continues to be on a pretty good path lately. Again, a lot of my live reviews have been getting a lot of views lately, so thank you guys, and keep up with that. So let's get into the main card. We opened up, I thought we would open up with the ladder match. Instead, we opened up with this last minute match that got added. Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher. A good match. It was a good match. Again, I like how they really, again, are telling this story about how much of a, submission machine Timothy Thatcher is. That was put over in this match, showing like how much of a master he is with submission maneuvers. And, of course, one of my favorite parts of this match, obviously, when Finn Balor had injured his leg. And Thatcher had realized that he'd hurt his leg. And basically, when Thatcher was like, I know your weakness now, and Balor's like, oh no. And then Thatcher starts attacking Balor's leg, and obviously uses smart psychology. Really put him over in a sense of that way, showing how smart of a competitor Thatcher is. The only thing disappointing about this match is that Thatcher did not win. Balor won with the 1916 DDT. Which, again, Finn Balor's just been stuck in a really strange spot. since his feud with Gargano ended after TakeOver Portland. Again, because I think the reason was because he was supposed to feud with Walter, which now they might be picking back up because NXT UK is coming back. And I heard rumors months ago they were making up TakeOver Dublin on October 26th, I believe it was. They're going to be making up TakeOver Dublin there. And I'm pretty sure that's where we will see Finn Balor challenge Walter for the UK title. And of course, it's in Dublin, Finn Balor's hometown. It's home for him. Why wouldn't they do that? Of course, I also wonder what's going to happen with the Cruiserweight title now that NXT UK is coming back, because Jordan Devlin was the champion, but Santos Escobar is still champion currently. But of course, we did have Jordan Devlin get some accusations in the speaking out movement also, so I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with the Cruiserweight champion. I just thought of that as we were talking about Dublin. But anyways, I get that Balor's kind of been in an odd situation because of that while they wait for, UK to start up again. But I think he could have given Thatcher the win here. I mean, it would have been like the same story being told as what happened with Balor and Priest back at TakeOver in Your House. I think Thatcher should have won this match. I was a little disappointed he didn't win. But still a good match. And again, I do like how, again, it just continues, like any of Thatcher's matches continues to show how much passion he has and how much of an art he has with the submission. And I really like that story they've told with him so far. But again, I think he should have gotten the win right here. There was no reason for Balor. Balor would have been okay to take a loss right here. And again, pick up right where he left off, even though, well, think about it, here's the other problem, though. Ilya Dragunov, though, was the number one contender on the last episode of NXT UK before they shut down. I forgot about that. So, triple threat, maybe? I'm not sure. Because why would you start teasing a feud with Walter before TakeOver Dublin, but then not have the match, So, we'll see where this goes for Balor and where this goes for Timothy Thatcher also. So, good opener. I'll say solid good opener by these two. Let's talk about, in my opinion, which so far we have 4 votes on it on Twitter, probably my match of the night with this next match. The NXT North American Championship 5-man ladder match for the vacated title. It was between Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, Yeehaw! Johnny Gargano, and Velveteen Dream. The controversial one, of course, of this match. When I say NXT's bread and butter, almost guaranteed classics are usually these ladder matches. This one almost, for me, almost hit home with that. We had a star-making performance by Bronson Reed. Cameron Grimes looked excellent in this match. Damian Priest was on the money as well. Johnny Gargano was Mr. Takeover again and was excellent. Excellent. And there's Velveteen Dream, of course, who was controversial, but may have disappeared off this earth, because I don't know what that maneuver was towards the end of that match, but we'll get into that in a second. They had me believing anybody was going to win this match. Again, watch my live reactions for this match, especially the last 5 minutes of this match. I will say, this was a chaotic, crazy, bump-taking, physical, chaotic, I will say chaotic, brutal match. The only problem I had with this match, and the reason why this didn't make a classic for me, was because there was a lot of spots ladders should have been broken. A lot of those spots, and they did not break. So that, I mean, I know some people in this match, again, could have pulled off, power spots as far as breaking the ladders. Since there was a ton of those, that kind of took me out a little teensy bit. Like this made this match like a classic to just an amazing match. If you would have had some broken ladder spots in there, I'd be giving this a classic, and this would definitely be a match of the year candidate. But this match was great. Bronson Reed looked amazing in this match. This was a match with him like playing with the big boys, pretty much. Like he was like the freshest, because again, Cameron Grimes has had his taste against like some bigger names like Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, Finn Balor. He's had that taste. This was Bronson Reed's really first taste, besides his match he had with Johnny and Roddy, were the first qualifying match, and he looked excellent in this match. One of my favorite spots in this match was when Candice LeRae came out to basically stop everyone else from winning that title except Johnny, which was making me believe that Johnny was going to win this match. Bronson Reed was up top on the ladder, about to win, and then Candice, which of course she beat up Cameron Grimes, yeehaw, pretty good down below. I enjoyed that. She literally was holding down this thick boy from winning that North American Championship. And then, to put icing on the cake, Bronson Reed jumped from the top ladder with Candice on his back and did a squash on top of Johnny Gargano. One of many favorite spots from this match. There was also like a time I remember Velveteen Dream was in the corner. He had a ladder in front of him. Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano were in the center, and then there was another ladder there, and Cameron Grimes was outside of that, and Bronson Reed also did a splash, smashing everyone into those ladders. Again, he had a lot of great spots in this match. This was the breakout star performance for Bronson Reed, for sure. He was the breakout star of this match. What else was there? There was a spot also where I think it was Johnny and Dream, or Dream and Priest were trying to sandwich Bronson Reed by throwing the ladders at him. Instead, Bronson ducked, and both ladders went flying and almost hit like each other in the faces. Like that happened a couple times in this match. Again, there was a Dream Valley driver that Dream hit on Johnny on top of Priest, but the ladder did not break. I like the spot where I think Johnny was trying to do a sunset flip Hurricanrana. He was climbing up one ladder, and I think it was Cameron Grimes. Was right here. Johnny jumped, did like a cartwheel, grabbed onto Grimes, Hurricanrana'd him, but the ladder did not break. There was that spot too. Also a spot where Damian Priest had a ladder like laying like, on an angle on a top rope, did a raspberry flop on there. It looked awesome. Again, this was an awesome, chaotic match. And of course, there was so many spots where it looked like one of these guys, like I was convinced they were about to win. I was convinced several times Bronson Reed was about to win. I was convinced several times that Cameron Grimes was going to win. Johnny Gargano. Velveteen Dream? Not as many. But I definitely was worried a couple times they were going to give it to him. There was a spot, though, where I thought Dream looked kind of stupid. He climbed up the taller ladder. He was set up for the Purple Rainmaker, and he bumps into the title. He's like, oh, crap. It is up there. Like, it kind of make him a little stupid. Oh, and also, the first ladder brought out was a teeny tiny little, like stool, like baby ladder that was, like, not even this high that Cameron Grimes brought out. He's like, are you kidding me? Like, pretty much in there. But yeah, Candice LeRae got involved in the match. And then towards the end of the match, Velveteen Dream was like all alone in the ring about to climb. Probably one of the only times I got a bad feeling that Dream was going to win this. Bronson Reed came out of nowhere, lifted the ladder. Dream got knocked off balance. He jumped off of the top rope. And not only did he go like this outside of the ring, he went flying. Like someone just like shot him out of a cannon. Flying over the top, over the barricade and into like the crowd area where like officials were sitting. And he kind of landed a little wonky on his neck. So hopefully he's okay and went through the table. He literally just like went like this. This dude just went boom, like he shot out of a cannon. I'm just like, did he like? Is he still in this world? Is he alive? Like, is he okay? Like, even my reaction again, the last 5 minutes of those live reactions for me, you gotta watch because they were just priceless. And then it came down to Johnny Gargano and Cameron Grimes, and I thought at first this might be where Johnny wins. And again, because my number one pick to win was Johnny. Instead, my number two pick won. Damian Priest, just as Johnny's about to grab the title, Damian Priest comes climbing up and grabs Johnny. And Johnny's like, no. And they were swinging the title. Also, Cameron Grimes fell off because Johnny swung the title. It missed Grimes. Came back, missed Johnny. And then Grimes was like, up. Kind of like whenever in Home Alone, whenever they were ducking the paint cans, basically, and Marvis is like, boom! Pretty much, that's what it looked like with Cameron Grimes getting knocked off. So it looked like Johnny about to win, but then Damian Priest climbs up, goes for a chokehold, but then him and Johnny both reach for the title, and I think Johnny unlocked it on the strap on the bar thing. But then they kind of did like a mini tug of war. Besides, we had a couple tug of wars with the ladders also earlier in the match. A tug of war between the title, but Johnny lost his balance. He fell off. And Damian Priest is your new NXT North American Champion. And I am completely cool with it. Again, he was my second pick to win. I thought Johnny could have used it more. But this was one of those performances I felt that Johnny still looked strong in the loss. Johnny, I think, looked incredible. So I'm happy about that because he needed like a performance like that, where if he didn't feel like he came out like as like the loser, like he felt like he came out gaining something from this match. He had an excellent showing, excellent wrestling performance. All these guys did. Damian Priest, though, who has had a couple opportunities for a North American Championship, finally comes away and wins the title. Even though I'm still not sure if he's a face or a heel. He's a lucky little son of a gun, though. Well, I shouldn't say little. He's like 6'6", and he's 38 years old. This guy goes out afterwards. He's about to, be interviewed. And he goes, I don't have time for an interview right now. And he jumps into a hot tub with two smoking hot girls. And I'm like, you lucky son of a gun. You win a title in a brutal ladder match, and you get two hot chicks in a hot tub. How could you not ask for a better night to celebrate? You lucky little man. Big man, sorry. But, yes. Awesome ladder match. Again, the only thing for me that hurt it was those ladder spots where ladders should have been breaking, but they didn't. But I still wonder, is Velveteen Dream okay? Like, he literally just went flying. Like, he was shot out of a cannon. It cracked me up. It absolutely cracked me up. But, yeah, that was that ladder match. And since we have 3 more matches to talk about, let's go back to the live chat. Tyler did a 2020 year in review last night. Nice. He's on the women's title match. Sweet. And, Mark thought that Bronson Reed had it. Like I said, they had plenty of moments in this match where they convinced me that pretty much anyone was going to win this. Like, I didn't know who was going to win this at certain points. And they had, like, all those moments where I thought everybody was going to get it. And, again, it was great. It was chaotic. Again, just those ladders not breaking could have definitely made this a classic. So, great match. And he can't wait for SummerSlam in the Thunderdome. Still could be a solid show, as I said. So, thank you for that in the live chat, guys. Let's move on now to the next match. Oh, this one. Adam Cole versus freaking Pat McAfee. So I've been talking for weeks, mentioning for a while, even on shows even before this all happened, that I think Pat McAfee is just an annoying SOB. Again, he came across for me as one of those guys who thinks he knows wrestling, but he really doesn't. He's just a random-ass football player that they brought in to wrestle a match and get a view. And to pretty much make Adam Cole a babyface. Which, was he officially today a babyface? getting there, but he didn't feel like he was fully a babyface. So I had no expectations for this match. I'm like, okay, again, why are we wasting a random ass football player to put over Adam Cole and make him a babyface? So the match starts, and they had said earlier in the day that Adam Cole agreed to leave the rest of his UE brothers in the back. And Pat McAfee was going to leave his football buddies in the back. But instead, Pat McAfee brought his football buddies out. And he was running around like, oh, look at this. You think this is so hard? I can do this at first. And I'm like, okay, this is what I expected. This is an annoying goon that I'm not really going to be like wowed about and crazy by. And I was also like, didn't we both agree not to bring your stables out? Like, why are they out here? And, the referee's fine with that. So at first, obviously, I was already like, okay, yeah, this isn't going to work. But then, here came whenever, Adam Cole was about to, when of course, McAfee's like, timeouts, like, there's no timeouts in wrestling, not like in football. And McAfee and his football buddies are standing, out there, just taking their time. Cole's out there like, come on, get back in the ring. We're going to fight Pat. And he's like, blah, 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 this isn't that. You're a stupid little punk or whatnot. All this crap he's been saying about Adam Cole being small and little, which, of course, that's a little annoying. And, of course, I said Pat McAfee is annoying. So I'm still thinking, okay, Pat McAfee, you're annoying. Why are you here? So then out comes the rest of the Undisputed Era. I thought we were going to get like an 8-man brawl, but instead, security got out there. They're trying to break it up. And then here's where I started to wake up for this match. Out of nowhere, Pat McAfee goes up to the top rope, does a swanton off the top, and takes everybody out. I'm like, okay, it was a one-time thing. Because I'm still in my mind thinking Pat McAfee's an annoying SOB who thinks he can wrestle. Like, I don't care about Pat McAfee. And then he starts to do more things in the ring. He does a drop kick. He freaking did a moonsault off the top rope and landed on his feet like Ricochet would in NXT. I'm like, okay, Pat can do that. And then he hops up onto the top rope, just hops from the ground to the top rope like it was nothing. And I'm like, damn it, Pat, you're annoying, but you can wrestle. Pat McAfee was awesome in this match. I still think the man's annoying, but he proved to me he could wrestle. He had an excellent match with Cole. And I literally thought at some point he was going to win. The thing that protected him, though, was, well, because of course Adam Cole would go on to win. He had this weird thing again where he was exposing his knee, getting ready for the last shot, but then he had a different thought. He covered up his knee, and instead he finished McAfee off with a Panama Sunrise for the 1, 2, 3. But there was a point in this match because Pat McAfee did punt Cole in the chest. However, what hurt it though was the turning point in this match. Well, besides the fact that what actually got me in the match was that swanton that McAfee hit on everyone from the top rope. And again, he got a lot of height, both on that and with the moonsault he hit and landed on his freaking feet. Again, I was just like, oh my gosh. At a point, I'm just like, screw it. I can't stand the guy still, but he can wrestle. It got me to accept that Pat McAfee can wrestle. And he actually had an amazing match. But what hurt him, though, there was one point where he went to the punt Cole, and Cole got out of the way, and instead he punted the steel steps, which hurt his foot. And when he did punt Cole, obviously it wasn't as effective. So that protected him, and of course Cole would go on to win. But one of those moments is like, I don't want to believe this. Ah, damn it, he's a good wrestler. Pat McAfee had a great match. Yes, a lot of people love this promo this past week. I still think he comes across as that guy who thinks he knows wrestling, but he really doesn't. But he proved me wrong. Pat McAfee proved me wrong. So, I'll kindly say, congratulations, Pat. you put on an excellent match. I don't know if there's anything long term or anything for you, but you put on a good match. A really good match. One of the best matches of the night, I will say. Maybe the second best match, and my second favorite match on this show. So yeah. I don't know where we're going here from this with Adam Cole, or what else, or Pat McAfee, or the rest of the Undisputed Era, but we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, Pat McAfee had a great match. One of the best matches of the night. Again, my second pick for match of the night. My pick for match of the night for sure is that ladder match. But this was my runner-up. So congrats. Pat McAfee proved me wrong. Let's talk about this next match. The NXT Women's Championship match. Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai. This is a good match. Not as good as I had hoped for, though. But it was still good. Again, continuing to show the long way Dakota Kai has come, for sure. She hung in there really well with Io Shirai. And, of course, Raquel Gonzalez, which I must ask this. Does Raquel Gonzalez look like a taller version of Sonya Deville? I think she looks like Sonya Deville. In the face, she looks a lot like Sonya Deville. But, of course, having that insurance policy in there was kind of an advantage for the captain of Team Kick. There was some drama, of course, that happened towards the end of the match. It looked like the referee was kind of shutting himself from getting attacked. And then Dakota went for a kick in the corner, and then Io got out of the way, and then she kicked the referee in the face. I thought that was a little bit telegraphed. Like, that was a little bit of a nitpick there. I thought that was like that was a little like it didn't look convincing that Dakota mistakenly kicked the referee. I wasn't convinced by that. So because that happened, well, first, I think Io did hit the moonsault on Dakota, but the referee wasn't there to count it. Raquel got in. She beat down on Io, and then she put Dakota on there, and they dragged the referee over for him to count. Io kicked out. We also had a GTK go to kick where Io got her foot on the rope. So, and then also, of course, Io had kayfabe-wise hurt her left arm in this match. So Dakota was playing good psychology on that arm the entire time. So great storytelling. Well, good storytelling there. I mean, this is probably like a B-level match. I was hoping for maybe a little bit more, but I still think I got just enough out as I hoped for. But eventually, of course, you know, Io was able to take them both Dakota and Raquel out with a moonsault, and then threw her back in the ring, and then hits the moonsault on her again, which I still get worried sometimes because Io does not get a lot of height on that moonsault. I'm still worried the one time she's gonna like jump too low and not get enough height to get that moonsault. But she pins Dakota, as I thought, to retain the title. After the match, Raquel Gonzalez attacks Io till Rhea Ripley comes out, and they have this long stare down, obviously teasing the future match, and they're starting to do something more with Raquel Gonzalez besides being Dakota's insurance policy. And of course, I like how they have like an Io in the ring celebrating, but in the background you see Rhea, who had a lot of makeup on, just staring down Io Shirai. So again, Rhea's not going away easy from that women's title. My only thing is, though, isn't she getting ready to have a match with Mercedes Martinez? Like, why are we all of a sudden teasing, even in the midst of teasing a match with her and Mercedes Martinez, why are we also teasing a match with her and Raquel Gonzalez? So that was a confusing there. And again, I just don't get, how did Rhea go from like being like the next hottest big thing in the women's division to losing to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania to now being someone who puts somebody over? She may need that heel run again. We may have to turn Rhea heel again. If that means teasing a match with her and Io, because Io's now a face again, cool. I'll take that. But, yeah, we'll see what happens in the next couple of months. Again, so it looks like Rhea's going to be involved in matches, in feuds with with Mercedes Martinez and Raquel Gonzalez. So we'll see where it goes in there. Again, we may be seeing a Rhea heel turn by the end of the year, and I think she could use it because I think she's definitely the badass, like Pete Dunne babyface persona is kind of worn off on her a little bit, I would say, since she kind of got stuck in this Robert Stone brand feud. So I think maybe once she takes care of Mercedes Martinez and Raquel Gonzalez, make her a heel. I think she'll thrive more as a heel. So yeah, so we have that match. Then we got, well, first off, then it was announced that NXT UK is coming back September 17th, and also Tommaso Ciampa is returning this Wednesday. So we'll see what Daddy Ciampa has to do when he returns. And it'll be the first time we've seen Ciampa since his loss to Karrion Kross at TakeOver in your house. Before we go to the main event, let's check the live chat one more time. That flip that Pat did off the top, and that jump in the top was awesome. Again, yes, that jump to the top, I'm like, okay, fine, he can wrestle. You got it. You got me. Did anyone else notice that botch in the women's title match? Which botch are you referring to, Mark? I did. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Just remind me. But yeah, so let's get to this main event. Speaking of Karrion Kross, Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. This was a tough one to watch and a tough prediction because I wanted to see Karrion Kross get that monster Brock Lesnar push. But I also felt it was maybe just a tad too soon to be putting the title on him. But I also didn't want to see him lose. And I also didn't think Keith Lee deserved to have a very short reign as NXT champion. So I was very crossed. I was very mixed up when I wanted to really see this match. That's why in my preview predictions, which I did on Thursday, I said this match should end in a no contest. Like a match where these two literally just beat the holy hell out of each other. And basically, goes to a no contest, sets up for a last man standing match. As I feel, that's a match these two were destined to have. This match happens, and it was a solid match, but I'll be 100% honest. I was a little disappointed with this match. I was expecting a two big man, fast-paced bloodbath of these two literally beating the holy hell out of each other. Instead, it was a slower-paced match with a lot of submission attempts from Karrion Kross and a lot more like a slower technical style match than what I thought we were going to originally get from these two. It told the story of these two had obviously met their match. What I was expecting, though, and the reason why I thought this was going to be more of a bloodbath, was Karrion Kross has told this story with all of his matches leading up. I mean, it wasn't so much with Ciampa. I saw it in this match with Dijakovic. And even with Bronson Reed, too. I liked this match with Bronson Reed. This thing where Karrion Kross is willing to take things much further and cross the line, no pun intended, with things to get what he needs, to get what he wants. I didn't feel that accomplished in this match. Again, there was a point in the match where they were brawling outside, and Keith Lee did a hammer fist or a back fist that knocked the plexiglass out of place on one spot. And then Kross kind of jammed each of Lee's arms into some outside, which started to weaken up the arms of Keith Lee. And then we had a good 5 minutes of Karrion Kross holding Keith Lee in this very long chicken wing lock on the ground. I'm like, okay, it's not working. Let's get to the next thing. It was a slow-paced match that looked like these two had met their match, like that. Like, these two, it was gonna be tough to put each other down, but I felt like the aggression just was not there. It was a lot of like Keith Lee, like find out things like, "Hey, you got me." No, you did not, or whatnot. But it just didn't feel like it. Just the aggression from the match was missing. I expected much more aggression out of this match than what I got. Cross did put the cross jacket on Lee, but it wasn't enough to put Lee down, as he didn't pass out from it. And then we got to the finish. That finish I thought was really weak, and it was not convincing. I thought Keith Lee was setting up for like a Spanish fly or something like that. Instead, it looked like a simple sidewalk slam fall, like just a stun move off the top rope. But that's how Karrion Kross pins Keith Lee clean to win the title. I thought it looked very weak. It was not convincing to see that at all. It left me disappointed. I'm just like what? Like, that's it? Like, that's all it's gonna take to defeat Lee in a slow-paced match like that? Like, I didn't like that finish. Again, it was weak. It was not convincing. I mean, you could have had Kross like just pull something else out, something like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe he did that to defeat Lee." He could have like smashed like Lee the steps into Lee or something like he did to Dijakovic, like something else to look like he literally like just like destroyed Keith Lee. But I didn't feel like he destroyed him. I didn't feel like these guys were destroyed. I mean, they wounded each other, but I didn't feel like the aggression just wasn't there as I had hoped we would get. So Kross wins again with that weak-looking finish, and that's how it went off the show. Karrion Kross is your new NXT champion. He's getting a Brock Lesnar push, but it's just a shame that Keith Lee's title reign is already ending. Are you going to bring him to the main roster? I don't know. It concerns me. Definitely. So yeah. Karrion Kross is your NXT champion in a solid main event. But like I said, I definitely expected better. Especially more aggression in this match than what we got. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for my live review of NXT TakeOver 30. Had to give this a grade. I give it a B+. A B+. Great show. Couple little tidbits. Like I said, I thought the ladders could have broken more in that ladder match, but it was still an amazing match. I think Thatcher should have won that opener. Again, Pat McAfee can wrestle. Io and Dakota had a good match. I just wish they would have sold that the referee getting kicked a little more and make it a little more obvious. And again, it's looking like the referee just let her do that. Again, I was a little off by that, and I wish the main event was a little bit better. But other than that, it was still a great show. I always enjoy takeovers. Mark just sent a live chat. Who do you think will be Karrion Kross' first opponent? That's a good question. Who could be the first person to take on Kross? I mean, they have Adam Cole of his rematch. Maybe him. I don't think we're going to have him face Ciampa. Too soon for Dexter Lumis. Yeah, I don't know. Unless they do a rematch with him and Aaliyah as last man standing. Who knows? And he gave TakeOver a B. Sounds good. So guys, that's gonna do it. And also, I mentioned in one of my live streams, I know I mentioned for the past 2 nights I was gonna try to do Payback card predictions, especially because I always like the Payback graphics, and I always try to see if I can come as close to creating them myself. But again, the pay-per-view's in 1 week, and I have no time this weekend. Again, I had a busy day today cleaning out stuff in my room today, especially pulling out the old carpet. And again, I just had no time. I have no time, and by the time I get them done, no one's gonna view them. the view again. My match card. If my match cards were doing better with views, then maybe I would. Even if it was like a couple days till the show. But again, it's only a 1 week build. It's not going to get. It's barely going to get any views at all. So no, I'm not going to do payback card predictions. But I will tomorrow be live for my for SummerSlam, as long as I'm not tired after getting home from my friends. And if maybe you catch the highlights or see what happened on Dynamite, maybe I'll get to review Dynamite tomorrow also. As I heard again, that ending was super good. But we'll see what happens. So guys, once again, B+ for NXT TakeOver 30, guys. What are your thoughts on NXT TakeOver 30? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video. Subscribe more content to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirboy93. And until then, guys, I'm signing out. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hopefully SummerSlam. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to do one thing before I go off the air. I just realized. My Twitter polls. 3 votes on what grade would you give NXT TakeOver 30. Out of 3 votes, 1 said A, 2 said B. Nobody said C or D or lower. And 5 votes on what was your match of the night. And we had 5 votes. It looked like 4 of them went to Cole and McAfee, and 1 went to the ladder match. Interesting there. But yeah, okay, guys, again, that's going to do it now. Again, I will be back up here hopefully live tomorrow after I get home with my friends for my SummerSlam review. And then at some point I'll try to do my AEW Dynamite review, and it will be all caught. Of course, this coming week, even though I'm not doing card predictions, I will still do preview predictions for Payback next Friday. Or Saturday, one of the two. And I do plan on still watching Payback. I may miss the first couple minutes because I have a late softball game next Sunday unless it gets rained out. It's storm right now, so tomorrow's game might get canceled. But, it is what it is. So yeah. So, guys, that's the plan for the next coming week. I'll catch up with Dynamite and get that review when I can. So, yeah, thank you guys all again for joining. It was a fun night. Got to eat some Five Guys also. And I had fun. So, until then, guys, I'm the Club of the Man 93. I'm checking out. See you guys all next time. Peace out, everybody.
No escape.